to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back. Once again, it's actually Sunday. Is it afternoon yet? What is it?
Look,
it's
technically
it's noon. It's Sunday afternoon, and we are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And with me here today is Mr. Tarver.
How you doing?
I'm a little wound up today.
Okay.
I'm a little wound up today. I've been doing some mechanical repairs on my vehicles, and that never goes well when you don't have the correct tools.
No.
And I spent 45 minutes beating on it with a 5-pound sledgehammer, and that didn't work either.
That usually works. That'll usually fix anything.
It will. So that means I'm in a real pickle.
Okay.
Because I need something to drive tomorrow.
Not the way you run.
Not the way. Oh, yeah. But I run over to the school and then sit in there all day.
Yeah, run over to school, run to the grocery store, put a shopping cart in front of you, and just jog all the way home.
I'm pretty certain that spending all the time over the school, I'm going to end up catching the coronavirus.
Well, there's talk of shutting schools down.
Really?
And we've only had one death so far.
And that was in Washington.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Guy had other health issues too.
There's something every year. Every year.
There's a lot more. I tell you what, I don't know why we getting into that, but
this is the coronavirus show.
It's got some. There's so much hype. They always hype up everything. Remember, they hyped up the bird flu. They hyped up the swine flu. They hyped
H1N1.
H1N1. It's gonna kill everybody.
Ebola. Remember Ebola?
Well, that was scary.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've seen people die from that. That's ugly.
Yeah.
So they hype it up, and so far it's been a big old nothing. But we'll see. I'd like to see truthful reports in an area that's had it for 6 months.
Well, and here's the thing: is they hype it up, nothing really happens, but they get everyone so focused that as soon as one thing happens, that's all you hear about for 3 days.
Well, you can't. Yeah, they live off.
Hey,
that.
You're talking
panic and fear. You watch the news.
Guess who's going to sit on an airplane to Hawaii in a few weeks?
Oh, you'll be okay.
Oh, Are you sure? I need a freaking mask.
You got some, man. Did you have a respirator?
Someone told me, I read an article in Hawaii. They're short on toilet paper, man.
What?
What the heck? People are buying it. They're nervous. They're scared. So they
yeah, I saw that.
Hey, but I might have to pack my own.
Have toilet paper as you carry on.
a big industrial sized Costco package. I'll just stick a sticky label right on top.
Everybody going on the plane carrying Costco bags.
Stuffed in my pockets.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. So what have you been up to, sir?
Oh, man, I've been working.
You cleared out your month. You're good to go.
Ooh, it was rough, man. It was rough.
Have you done any... Well, I know you haven't done any shooting because you come out here to shoot and I haven't seen you.
Well, it's been too windy and cold. Now we finally getting some sunshine.
Friday was nice. It's like 64 degrees here.
Yeah.
Guess what? I was
man. It's the end of the month. I'm hustling at the end of the month.
Freaking working myself. It sucked.
Okay.
Come out of the high school and was like, well, I got about another 2 hours of this and time to go to bed. I'm a working stiff again.
Well, I don't know. You're at the high school, right?
I'm at the high school.
So you protect it?
No.
Let's leave that alone.
Nope, not protected.
Okay.
And I will say that the what do they call the school
resource?
Yeah, the resource. He kind of eyes me up and down when I walk in there. Like he knows what I do, so he kind of
thinks you packing.
I think I got my computer in my bag. Is what I got.
Thinks you got ill intent.
I don't got ill intent. I got to try to stay awake. They had me in a Spanish class the other day.
Okay, cool.
I didn't.
Hola, that's all you got, huh?
He had pretty much. So I hand this out, and after 10 minutes, give them another handout, and after another 10 minutes, give them this, and then after another 10 minutes, give them this for the rest of the class. These papers that I was handing out, and all the instructions, because the instructions are on the board. I try and look at the board. Yeah, I don't know what those say.
Okay.
I looked at the kids and said, I'm going to be no help. So here's your paperwork. Just get it done.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, come on. They're making translators now that work in real time.
yeah.
That you'll be able to put an app on your phone. Anybody can speak any language. It'll translate it and throw it into your earbuds, and you speak right back and forth. What's the use in all the language stuff?
Don't know. We're trying to be
Expand young minds.
welcoming. So some dude, and this is not gun related by any means, but I didn't read the article, but I saw the headline.
Okay.
And that's sometimes the best part of the article. Some guys come up with a pair of gloves that you can do sign language in,
Uh-huh.
and they'll say what you're signing.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I didn't know they were working on sign language. So now we got sign language too.
You got gloves. This isn't at the school. I just read this article. You got gloves you put on, so when you sign, do ASL, a voice will say what you're signing.
Well, they have the translate now, but it's too much lag and a little slow. Once
Right.
5G comes out, you'll be able to just.
If our brains ain't melted.
Yeah, well, it's going to kill us all.
So,
But you worry about that Wuhan.
Wuhan.
Worry about that.
I'm going to get that Wuhan on the freaking airplane. I'm just going to wrap myself in saran wrap and sit in that seat.
That's such a ridiculous. So I mean, come on, man. All this stuff's made in the lab.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
We're all going to die someday. So I had some classes this weekend.
Okay.
I did. Yesterday I had a full day of classes from in the morning till the evening.
That's why we're doing this on Sunday.
That's why we're doing this on Sunday. I was tired when I got home. I didn't get home till almost 8 o'clock last night.
Wow.
So I'm trying to think of what we had come through the class. Well, I put up some videos. I had some younger gals come. A buddy of mine, it was his 2 daughters. They came and one of them brought a little 22 Ruger SR22, and the other one brought a little Ruger LCP, a little tiny one. Yeah, but we had a good time. Kind of dialed them in. That was one of the classes.
You dialed in an LCP?
She actually shot it pretty well. I was really impressed.
Okay.
In fact, her dad was standing behind me when she shot, because one of them was was under 18. So it's like, okay, well, the parents can just stay here.
Right.
And as she took the first few shots, and I could hear him go, "Oh, nice," and I was like, "Yeah, very nice." She actually almost hit the freaking bullseye. It was great.
Okay.
At a distance too, so I was super impressed. But I had a gentleman come in at the end of the day, and he's an older gentleman. Actually, he was 70. That guy I was telling you about, he was 78 years old. He came in and he was telling me stories about back in the day. And I'm not a 1911 guy. Okay, not that I hate them. I just don't prefer them. I mean, they can be beautiful guns.
They are beautiful,
and
guns.
They can be works of art. And he was telling me that back
groundbreaking in that time.
Oh yes, back when he was in the military, I think it was Army. He said he was on the. He used to teach how to shoot the 1911, the 45. Right. That was his deal. And he also was on the competitive 1911 shooting team for the Army. And he was telling me about this old 1911 that he had, one that he actually was, I guess, given to him, assigned to him, and he carried it in the war. And
Which war?
I don't know. One of them. Don't ask.
The big one. Just say the big one.
The big one. It was that big one. That big one.
The big one.
Where people died.
Whichever one you're in, that's a pretty damn big one to use.
Yeah, exactly. But he told me how his 45 saved his life.
Okay.
Guy was just about on him. He pulled the trigger. He said he took the guy's shoulder off. Just,
wow.
Just took it off. And he says he's able, I don't know if they allowed it or not, but he brought the gun home with him, and he still has it to this day. Now, I know that back in the day when they were making weapons for the wars and stuff, a lot of different companies and businesses started making guns. So, for example, there's an M1 Garand out there there's some of them made by like Singer Sewing Machine.
Right. And
there's the one that I have always wanted that a buddy of mine actually has. It's made by International Harvester.
Okay.
But this guy's 1911, and it made by National Cash Register.
That's amazing.
And he says it still shoots. He says it's very broke in. He says it's so used. He used it so much. You can actually take it and you can shake it, and the whole thing just like rattles.
Wow.
Because it's had that much use. So I have invited him actually when
I would quit using it.
Well, he hasn't shot it for a long time.
I wouldn't want to change anything because it's all original.
Yeah,
keep it, but
well, and he was telling me too, and he goes,
don't change anything.
He goes, I don't know how much national cash register is left on it, because he says back then what it was is something happened, you gave it to the armor or whatever, and they just had a box
Swapped
of
out
1911 parts, and they just put parts on it. But he says, it shot great. He hasn't shot it, he said, in year, like a long time. In fact, I asked him I said, can you send me a picture? He goes, oh, I'm going to find it. I mean, because it's been years, he said. But I've invited him over. I said, if you want to shoot that thing again, or shoot any of your other guns that you brought, I said, at the very least, I'm going to invite him over this summer to do some shooting here. And I said, you got to bring it, man. I got to take a look at it. I want to see what this thing looks like. But it was kind of interesting because he came in and.
So what was he shooting when he was here?
Some CZs. He had a couple CZs.
All right.
And I don't know the number. They got some weird number. That's how they. I was looking on the slide. I don't know the numbers of what exact model they were.
Right.
But the brand was CZ, and I tell you, I was really kind of impressed. Those CZs were nice.
Did it have a hammer?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Probably a CO7, or if he was really spendy, a Shadow.
No, it wasn't a Shadow.
Okay.
No. But he was wanting to, the way the world was going, he wanted to make sure he had a good functioning firearm.
Right.
And he goes, I know how to shoot. But he goes, I forgot probably more than, I forgot so much. And I like that because he came into it. I have some older guys come into, and they're like, I know what I'm doing. And, they don't want to take instruction. He came and said, hey, look, this is what I used to do. But I'm sure they've improved things. Show me. And they used to do the teacup. That's the way they used to shoot. And so I taught him the thumbs forward, and he really kind of dug it. He was more, he would tuck his shoulders in, his elbow in like this, and people can't see on the podcast.
Elbows into the ribs. But
that's how he would support the firearm when he shot, which is pretty interesting. And I tried to get him to switch up a little bit, but this way he was used to it, and it was working. So I was like, just do it.
Yeah. Well, not only that, things change over time.
No, they do. He had a little
senior in age.
Well, he kept saying, and we talked about it.
If that's where his strength was at,
his sights were dancing, and I said, "Okay, then you tuck your arm." I said, "Okay, your sights are." He said, "My sights are dancing. What do I need to do?" And you kind of don't want to say, "Well, hey, dude, you're kind of older. This stuff happens." And I kind of started talking. He goes, "I know I'm old." That's what he said.
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, how did you shoot before you came in here? Show me how you used to shoot." And he tucked his elbow, and I was like, "Let's try that." And that helped a lot. But then we came down to he's got like trifocals on, and he can either see the bullseye and not see the sights, or he can see the sights and not see the bullseye. And,
right.
But I mean, he actually shot really well. He hit the bullseye a couple times, but he was grouped up nice.
You have to make adjustments as you age.
Yes.
And you don't know it.
Yes, you do.
Well, you can be a great shooter. And then you come out and I'll show you youngsters. Let me show you. And you blasting all over the place. And it's like, all right, I need some help. Because you got to change things.
Yeah.
Until you start putting stuff on paper, you don't see where your eyes have changed a little bit.
Yeah, and he was struggling with that at first, and finally he's like, "Well, let me tell you what I'm seeing." And
dexterity in your shoulders have changed a little bit.
Yeah, it has. But he was I don't know, he was a great guy. We talked. I enjoyed talking with him just about the way they used to do things,
right?
And about tucking that elbow and just everything. Because I mean, it was like an old instructor talking to a new instructor, and they're trying to like meet in the middle and like mesh the two. Does that make sense?
Right.
I don't know. It was super interesting. I will tell you this. So he heard about me on the radio, and there's a lot of people that I try to get to listen to the podcast.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, I don't know how to do that." I was talking to him because I heard you on the radio, the gun guys, on Friday mornings, and I even downloaded your podcast. He's like, "I haven't listened yet, but I've downloaded your podcast." I'm like, "You downloaded the podcast?" And we got a group of coyotes out there, but he's all yeah, I downloaded. He's like, I had to check you out before I came over here to get taught by you.
All right.
So I thought that was. He said he's going to start listening though.
Okay.
So I was pretty impressed.
Well,
but no, that was a great class.
Yeah, it's always great. I like talking to people who have real.
He had stories, man.
Yeah, real life experiences, but that aren't fake.
Right.
Because you get those phony people and they're always trying to, It's like, man, stop with your silly story.
And I mean,
so if you can find a real genuine dude that has stories, that's some great stuff.
Well, and I've had lots of people come to my class and they'll tell you stories, but it's, look what I've done. Look what I've done. Look what I've, look at me. That's not the way we used to do it back in 1942. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at.
I know.
So I got a question for you, and I need to research this because I felt like a big dummy when he asked me.
Okay.
Or when you started telling me about it. I knew that they've done it, but one of the reasons why he wasn't hitting the bullseye at first is because he was setting. I don't know why they did this, but he was putting the center. He was lining up the sights, the iron sights, right, and he was placing the front sight just at 6 o'clock, right below the bullseye.
Okay.
Why did they used to do that? Do you know? I mean,
yes.
I'm stupid because I don't know.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. What am I, old?
Well, no, I mean, I knew that they used to.
A dinosaur up in here?
I knew that they used to do it. I've just never taken time to figure out why. And in older, not even that old, but older NRA literature, it even talks about it. I'm like, he's like, do I need to cover the target? Yeah, cover the target. And then he started hitting the bullseye.
Right. Well, you actually got an owner's manual with your firearms. And people used to read them, and they would, different firearms would tell you where to aim for this firearm. And some of it with the 45s and stuff, they would tell you to get a little low.
I'm
not saying but the manufacturer would recommend this is where you aim with this firearm.
So what that is that's interesting. And I had an idea maybe that's what it was, but I didn't know for sure. And
I used to shoot low. I used to shoot 6 o'clock.
Okay, so
damn, I'm old, man.
Yeah, but was that to make up for the fact that you were trying to help mitigate the recoil?
I do not know if that's why they recommended it, or, I mean, they manufactured it and they're saying aim this way, and you're hitting.
It's got to be to mitigate the recoil. It's got to be.
I do not know,
and that's weird because as an instructor,
that bullet's gone before you got recoil though.
What?
That bullet's gone before you got. I mean, if you're getting recoil, and the bullet's still in the barrel.
I mean,
good Lord.
I mean, I don't.
100 feet per second.
I wonder if it's to make up some kind of flinch where you're not flinching low, but you're heeling it up high.
I don't know. I mean, when the manufacturer makes this gun and they put these sights on it and they say, if you want to dial it in, this is where you aim.
But that's weird because I guarantee I could take that same gun, I could obliterate the bullseye with it, and I could cover the bullseye with it, and I could plug it. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just don't. That's fascinating. I'll do some research. I'm going to do some research.
Those old owner manuals, I used to read them.
I'm going to do some research, and by the next podcast, I'm going to know. I'm going to be able to explain this because that was fascinating to me. And he actually, so this tells you he shot so much,
right?
Even though it was years and years and years ago, he shot so much that when I had him start covering the bullseye with the front sight instead of putting it at 6 o'clock, he'd start shooting and he'd go, I forgot I held it at 6 o'clock on that position. That tells you how much that muscle memory was ingrained into him. He actually had to force himself to, because that's where he settled, was right at the bottom of that bullseye.
Not only that, you get comfortable with it. From somebody who would shoot 6 o'clock.
Right.
It's nice. You can see your target.
How long? So tell me. Yeah, you can. You see that you missed. How long did you?
You still in the black. You putting holes in meat.
How long did you do that?
I don't even know.
So the first time
I'm only 27 years old. Man.
Yeah. So the first time.
For God's sakes.
And answer, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
The first time that you came out here and shot with me.
Okay.
Were you still under the assumption you needed to hold it below the bullseye?
I was.
I think.
Well, I hadn't
shot
shot in I don't know
years.
15 years, and I come out here. I'm like, I can. And I had a little vision problem too. I'm like, oh shit, look at this.
We straightened you out though. We got between you. We did. We got it all figured out.
Yeah, we did.
So I would just, I don't know. I just was wondering that's when he mentioned that he goes, well, why did we hold it here? Honestly, sir, I have no idea, but let's just do it this way because it's going to work.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I could tell him. I wasn't going to make shit up.
Yeah. Well, Try it a different way. See what it works.
Oh yeah. Now I'm going to start doing. I can't go to do it. I can't hold it below the bullseye because I'm going to freaking hit below the bullseye.
You will, but you're in the ring. If you got a good.
But I'm not as fine tuned as I want to be. It's not where I want to hit. I put it where I want to hit, man.
Well, you still have a.
I'm not trying to. I'm not
quarter group.
I'm not adjusting for windage.
You got to do that, man.
Inside. Someone turn off those circulation fans. Oh, criminy. But no, it was
What's
good.
funny is a 45, if you shooting some distance, you do some distance shooting, you can see the round and you you can adjust for it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's like, all right.
Well, I used to shoot I had that little black Taurus revolver that roamed around. I don't know. It's in the safe now. But it's I used to load it. It was 357 and I'd load it with hand load 38s.
Uh-huh.
And I'd get out to 100 yards and start picking off rocks at 100 yards. Mm-hmm. But it was actually really fun to shoot distance, just like you said, because it almost, even on that, it was almost like you could almost see it.
Yeah.
But the cool part is at 100 yards, and these are hand loads, so they're kind of loaded a little light. You get out there, you'd almost have to windage it just a smidge. You know what I'm saying? And you'd have to
you start reaching out. You have to.
Well, and this was a snub nose.
Right.
And so, but it was cool because you'd go, bang, ding. It was like it was sweet. There's that delay. I mean, you could almost like reload the firearm.
Right.
It was cool though. That was a lot of fun.
What's funny is with a 45 and doing some distance shooting, which that's what we shot. We shot 45s.
Right.
You could adjust. You can see the round down the barrel, and you can see it as it flies. And you get to where you could just adjust, and you could hit pretty much anything because you know where to go and how far you are. And it's more Kentucky windage than it is, you getting on your iron, but you're not getting on your iron. You know where to get instinctively know where to fire the round.
Like Jeff Cooper.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. You don't know who that was?
No, I don't. Name's familiar. Who's Jeff Cooper?
Yeah, he was a big gun guy, big shooting guy. I'm trying to think of what he's a big 45 guy. He's got a lot of. Don't put me on the spot like this.
Okay. Well, you don't know him, huh?
No, I know.
Can't place him.
No, I do. Like what the 45 is today. Right. I mean, he instructed with the 45, he taught with the 45, and a lot of these sayings and stuff, these like gun mantras that you hear, that came from him.
Okay.
That was his baby. He's a guy, I believe the whole book's dedicated.
I think I know. Yeah.
Unless I really screwed the guy up, which is a possibility.
Oh well, it's Sunday.
It is Sunday. So big.
A little grace for the day.
That's right. So let's get into the news.
Okay.
Now. So, big news story. Well, kind of big for an hour, and then they went away. It was that shooting at the Coors, and
there's a shooting at Coors.
Shooting at Coors. They were shooting beer cans. Someone's shooting beer cans again.
I didn't hear about it. There was a shooting at Coors.
At Coors.
Wow.
Yeah. No one heard about it.
Oh,
that's the problem.
How long was it on the news?
It's 5 minutes.
20 minutes.
It's 5 minutes.
Why?
Okay, let's play this.
Tonight, we're learning more about the 5 people murdered in that mass shooting at a brewery in Milwaukee. They ranged in age from 33 to 61 years old. The gunman who worked at the Molson Coors plant took his own life. Dean Reynolds now on the search for a motive.
Just a short moment of silence.
Milwaukee is following the unofficial American post-shooting protocols, the thoughts and prayers, and the sidewalk memorials to salve the wounds that will never heal.
I've gotten phone calls from family members who are out of the city or out of the state, saying, how is it going in Milwaukee?
Today, the police identified the gunman, 51-year-old Anthony Farrell, and the names of his 5 victims, all co-workers of the man who murdered them.
They were powerhouse operators, they were machinists, and they were electricians. But more importantly, they were husbands, they were fathers, and they were friends.
The Molson Coors brewery is closed for the rest of the week. About 1,000 workers were there when the shooting started. The gunman reportedly had a long-running dispute with at least one of his co-workers, but neighbor Elizabeth Lapine didn't expect such trouble from the family man across the street.
The family man?
God.
Family man.
Never dreamed he would do something like that.
He mowed my lawn.
The governor today ordered flags flown at half-staff to honor the victims. There have been at least 11 mass killings involving firearms in Wisconsin since 2004. Nora?
All right, Dean, thank you.
And that's what they always say. We didn't know that we didn't realize he was a madman in the basement making
White
a
supremacist.
suicide vest. I don't think he had a suicide vest.
Okay.
He was, there you go. And why didn't we hear about this? Why didn't we hear about this? Because this is a podcast once again, and there's no pictures involved. But why didn't we hear about this?
Was he tied to white supremacy?
I don't think was he? I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think he was.
What kind of firearm did he use?
Nobody knows.
Nobody will
It was a
find out.
secret.
It's not going to come out. Don't fit the narrative.
Doesn't fit the narrative. I think he might have been African American.
What?
What?
I think he was Elizabeth Warren supporter.
Looky there. That's bad for business.
Said he was oppressed by racism, so he had to go.
I was watching
Shoot 'em
movies,
up.
watching movies at work.
So these are the shootings that disappear.
They do disappear. I
You
mean,
won't hear about it.
I almost didn't even. If I wouldn't have caught the little blip of it on Facebook, I would never have known this even took place.
Oh, it was huge news, and then this picture come out and it went away. It's like, what the hell, man? What's the problem? You know?
Yeah.
I thought y'all was worried about guns. No, it don't fit the narrative.
Doesn't fit. They want to get elected, man. They're going to use. They want to, and I wouldn't be surprised. You hear that fly?
I did not.
I wouldn't be surprised if another shooting happens sooner or later. I mean, you know, they always seem to happen at these opportune times for them.
Yeah, it's going.
They're going to get it right. So someone probably just got fired. What's what happened because this one didn't pan out the way they wanted it to.
He got fired. They
Not him.
Oh.
The person who was in charge of this one.
Oh,
he screwed the narrative up a little bit.
well, it's it's. Speaking of which, it is the 25th year anniversary of Waco, 27. It's the anniversary of Waco.
So it wasn't 25th because I've been married 25. It's got to be like 27.
Okay, maybe it was.
Because I think Waco happened before I got married.
People need to invest a couple hours of time, 3 hours in your life. Take time to do this. Write this down. It's on YouTube. It's on BitChute. It's everywhere. Waco Rules of Engagement. It's about an hour and a half. Watch it. Waco, A New Revelation. About an hour and a half. Watch it. Watch these things. You got to see them. If you haven't seen them, you don't even
see what really happened.
You can't even make judgments on your government. You still thinking, you know, they work for us and all this crap. Just take the time, sometime in your life, to see these. Anyway, all right,
we'll do it.
Back to where we were.
As a public
we're at
service
the
announcement.
See those. I can't tell you how many people I'm like, they want to start talking and you start bringing up stuff and they, well, that ain't what happened. I'm like, man, you don't even know. I'm talking, this is congressional testimony. This is FLIR footage. This is government helicopter footage. You can see what's happening. Anyway, watch those two. Rules of Engagement, A New Revelation.
There we go. Someone will message me and they will ask me what those are again. So
okay, they're on YouTube. They're on BitChute.
I may shoot you a message and ask because I mean, we have listeners that they will ask. So
watch these.
We'll do it. Cool. I may put it in the show notes too.
Okay.
If I find the links, I figure out how to do that. I'll do that. So you got this shooting that didn't, you know, it didn't follow the right agenda, so they kind of covered it up. But but it's okay because we have Biden will save the day.
I guess we could go on and on. Vice President Biden, I want to start with you. Why should anyone have faith that you're the one who can get this done now?
Because I'm the only one that ever got it done nationally. I beat the NRA twice. I got assault weapons banned. I got magazines that could not hold more than 10 rounds in them. I got them eliminated, except we had a thing called an election with hanging chads in Florida, and it was not reauthorized. In addition to that, I passed the Brady bill with waiting periods. I led that fight. But my friend to my right and others have, in fact, also given to the gun manufacturers absolute immunity. Imagine if I stood here and said we give immunity to drug companies, we give immunity to tobacco companies. That has caused carnage on our streets. 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. More than all the wars, including Vietnam, from that point on. carnage on our street. And I want to tell you, if I'm elected and I'm coming for you and gun manufacturers, I'm going to take you on and I'm going to beat you. I'm the only one who's done it.
Yes,
that's why we've got to change what Washington
dig
can
in
deliver.
and talk about.
I'm not real concerned about
150 million.
150 million.
For God's sakes, it's a national emergency.
I'm not really concerned about Joe Biden right now.
Okay.
I'd be more concerned about crazy Bernie, but
150 million.
150 million. That dude, does he just plug
That's
numbers?
amazing.
Does he just plug numbers out of the air?
He's insane. He don't even know where he's at. He's crazy.
What's cool about this is, obviously, this is audio. If you watch the video on YouTube, standing right next to him is a crazy Bernie. And Bernie's like
raising his hand like he's in elementary school.
Like he wants to talk. And he's hunched over the pulpit.
Bernie's such a wimp, too, man. He lets everybody take over his pulpit, take his microphone from him. He just, anything. Hillary Clinton just treated him like a dog. And he come out defending her. I'm tired of hearing about these damn emails. It's like, you're such a wimp. He's there for the money. He got paid off. He bought him a couple houses. He's all good.
He kind of reminds me of a basset hound.
He's insane. He's insane.
150 million people.
150 million. This is serious.
You would have thought we'd heard about that.
You would think. I would be upset about that.
Was that all at once or spread over so many years?
I don't know. It must be in California because we don't see it out here. I mean, you'd have bodies in the street, 150 million people.
That's like half the population.
Yeah. Our entire population is, 340? And we're counting maybe 20 million illegals. Yeah. So we're 320 of Americans. 150 million people. Good grief.
Oh, you gotta love this time of year, right?
150 million. That's amazing. Jeez.
Has anyone, now I saw this, besides like the article, has anyone else like called him out on this number, or are they just going with it?
No, everybody's like, crazy Biden.
They just know he's
insane.
They just know he's an idiot.
He don't know where he's at. He's lost.
He's too worried about how the way the hair on his legs look when he gets out of the swimming pool.
Have little kids rubbing on his legs.
Yeah, he likes that.
Oh, pervert.
He probably killed all their 150 million parents. So
that's what he's killing all the parents.
Free reign with, never mind. Okay. So
well, he won South Carolina. So was it South Carolina? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what I read.
So he's back in the hunt for now. I think they're going to have a broker convention.
Yeah.
God only knows who's going to come out of that.
I don't know.
Hillary might show up. You never know.
Ugh. Oh, Bernie better watch out. Hillary's going to freaking take him out.
Bloomberg was wanting to make her his vice president. I'm like, you a dead man.
Bernie keeps moving forward.
Dead man.
Yeah, freaking Bernie will go too.
Bernie better be careful. Government don't like him.
He's going to be standing on stage. He's going to grab, oh, God, oh.
Yeah.
He's going to get that special glass of water.
They got the gun for that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
You say stuff like that, though, and people start glossing over. They're like, really? Dude, it's congressional testimony. So, come on, there's video of it.
Yeah.
They admit it. Anyway, not going there.
Yeah. We're all over the board today.
Well, it's Sunday, man.
It is Sunday. It's Sunday. So, we have another incident.
Okay.
I know you don't take selfies.
I do not.
You have another. We talked about this. It was like a month ago.
Yeah,
some woman,
3 or 4 of them we done talked about.
Some woman was taking a selfie with her gun. It's always a bad idea. It's always a bad idea. There's another story that came out. Here you go.
It's a moment that for this neighborhood is just so real.
I prayed that he would be okay as they brought him outside, and I seen him.
What Latavia Stewart saw haunts her. She's a mother who witnessed her 10-year-old neighbor fighting for his life after he was shot by his aunt.
It's just kind of unfortunate that things like that happen so close to you, and especially to your kids' friends.
Residents here in disbelief.
Look at the kids for the grown-ups. Like, this is serious.
Because investigators say that 10-year-old underwent surgery and barely survived for something so preventable.
There was an unsecured weapon inside the home. The female indicates that she retrieved that weapon to take pictures. And in the course of taking pictures, the gun went off and struck the child.
That child meant the world to Adrian Mendoza.
He was my best friend. We walked
walk together. We just talk.
He's 9.
I feel sad that he almost died.
Now deputies are reminding parents to secure their weapons, and they're looking into what next.
The adult female is cooperating with us right now, and obviously we'll have to determine level of responsibility later on in terms of, the parents and also the adult that was in the home.
So,
how old was the adult?
No, there was not an adult in the home. They're going to look at the adults that were in the home as far as why they didn't lock their weapon up.
Okay.
So this is going to be, even though, I don't know if they're going to place blame on the adult, but it kind of sounds to me like maybe they're going to try to hold them responsible, which to a certain extent they are.
Maybe I missed some of that. Did it say that she was taking a selfie in that?
Yes.
Clip? Okay.
She was taking a selfie with her firearm, and it didn't go into great detail.
And how old was she? Did it say?
It didn't say.
Okay.
She was old enough to babysit, so he was 10. I bet you she was 16, 17, something like that. I don't know. Selfies with firearms. We're learning that that's not a good combination.
Kids are going to do it. Kids are going to do it.
My kids never have.
That you know of.
They never have.
That you know of.
They never have.
I'll tell you a story. Maybe I shouldn't. Never mind. The kids will play with guns. I promise you, they will. And here's the problem.
Oh no, I don't deny that.
You have to keep your firearms safe. But if you keep them safe enough that nobody can ever get hurt, that they'll have them, disassembled and put in different parts of the house. You have to keep them locked up. You either get something, quick access or height or something to where kids can't get to it. But at the same time, if you're going to have a gun that's usable, it's got to be easily accessible to you.
It needs to be on you. That's my take on it. So I have firearms. When I'm not using them, they're instructing with them, using them to take out and shoot. They're in the safe. The one that I carry with me is typically on me, or just somewhere where my kids don't know where it's at. But it typically, if I'm on my property or in my house, it is on me. I have ultimate control over it if it's on my belt. Right? I mean, that's just the way. That's the way it should be. I've gone into people's houses and seen guns laying here, guns laying there. But, maybe their kids are adults. Okay. Why are we laughing over there?
I don't know, man.
But
let's just say I can access weapons from anywhere.
I know, but I will say this. Your house is a little different. Your son is an adult.
Okay.
Your son.
Go ahead and tell the story.
It's not like
he was a kid.
12-year-old kid.
I was a single parent.
Right.
And I worked nights.
Sure.
And I didn't know about this 2 years later. Yeah. So I had the old trusty 45.
Yeah.
I didn't carry at the time. I was in California.
Right.
It was in the home.
1911?
No.
Okay, good.
It was a gas station store. It was a Ruger.
Okay.
I was actually leaving Louisiana on the way to California and it's kind of a long trip. I need to, because I had, I sold all my guns before I left. I had a nice collection, and I just got rid of them. I just sold them for nothing.
Right.
And I'm like, this is a long trip. Maybe I should get a firearm. So I stopped by the gas station and gassed up, and they had had guns at the gas station. This is Louisiana.
Nice.
So
I like it.
I bought a gun, bought some bullets, and gassed up.
Dude.
Took off.
Where are those gas stations now?
Well, they're there. They're there. It was funny because you go in.
I've got a new business idea.
Well, it was a gas station /
It's a grab and go.
Yeah. It had fishing supplies and stuff like that, and it had a little, the little round displays sitting on the counter where you have the big plastic ring at the bottom that you turn it, and it was full of pistols. So I picked one out, and
I'll take $10 in gas. I'll take this beef jerky here, and go ahead and toss me that gun.
Yeah, 45 and box around. So anyway,
nice.
I kept it at my house. I didn't care because I was in California.
Sure.
A few years later, my son told me I never even knew a round was missing.
Oh.
But he would take it and he would play with it. And he took the mag out and he would play with it and make sure it was empty. Well, one time
he forgot.
He put the mag in and racked one.
Oh.
And he took the mag back out and wasn't paying attention.
Bam.
And pointed it right at his foot.
Holy.
Aimed it at his foot.
Oh.
And He fired off a round in the house
at his foot.
It missed his foot by
Thank
half
the
inch.
Lord he missed.
Yeah.
Nobody cared in California, and they heard that noise, or was that just the
This
neighborhood you lived in?
This is in Riverside, man. They just, they pat themselves down, make sure they're not bleeding, and keep going. No, so it was actually it was in Paris, California.
Ooh.
So yeah, woo. But yeah,
you didn't see the hole in the floor?
No, it was house sitting on a concrete slab. That 45 hit it. Never knew the round was coming.
Oh,
never
man.
tore the carpet up. It was
Neighbors missing their dog.
bang. No, well, we had I ain't gonna get in that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Few times, yeah. Anyway, different stories. Yeah, so he fired off a round in the house, put the gun back. I never knew it. Never checked the mag to see if one was missing from the mag. I
bet he was.
How often do you check your mag?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he was having a heart attack. His ears sitting there ringing. He was in an enclosed room. Boom! I never knew about it till years later, and he told me. I'm like,
how old was he when he told you?
I don't remember when he told me. I don't know, maybe.
What did you say?
17, 18. I mean, what do you say? I'm glad you didn't get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was, 7, 8 years ago. I'm glad,
Do you still have the gas station gun?
I still do.
Really?
Yeah, it ain't worth nothing to sell.
How come we have not? I need to bring the gas station gun by.
It's a Ruger 97 or something. I don't even remember.
I want to see the gas station gun.
Okay.
It's one I haven't shot.
Okay.
You haven't either, but your son has.
Well, I shot it. It a few times. I picked up some guns out there, but I started picking up stuff while I was out there, and kind of left the gas station gun in the closet.
I want to check out the gas station.
But see, here's another problem. All right. Now, this is highly not what you want to do. But say you live in a rough neighborhood.
Yes.
Say you have a child that's alone.
Yes.
Lots of times. Do you want him to know where the firearm's at? Am I talking too quiet?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm listening. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I think that if you have a child, depending on the age of your kid, I think that they need to know about the firearms. I think they need to go out and shoot them, when you deem that they're responsible enough to shoot them. And
He shot several times before. Yeah.
And they need to be familiar with them. And depending on the kid, and each kid.
But you think your kids, my kid's okay, and all of a sudden, boom, right in the floor.
Yeah, I don't, it's one of those things.
Yeah,
I mean, what are you going to do?
They will get into them, I promise you.
My kids shoot shotguns.
Put your guns away from the kids.
Oh, yeah. My kid shot on Trap and Skeet League for...
That's much safer. It's much harder to accidentally shoot yourself with a
for years.
Shotgun.
I have gone out of town and said, okay, well, or been gone, maybe not out of town. I don't really go anywhere.
Right.
Hey, you know where the shotgun is. And I know that
that's a much better scenario.
Right.
Than a handgun.
Because even my 14-year-old, and granted he's had this huge growth spurt in the last 6 months. The dude's almost as tall as I am now.
Okay.
He even as of before he hit that growth spurt, I mean, even my 9mm would knock him around a little bit. I mean, he didn't have the grip or the strength in his arms to even repeatedly shoot it. It was a single shot because he'd limp wrist it every single time. So the shotgun was a lot easier. So for him to handle, but that's a good question though. I mean, when do you decide your kid's responsible enough to say, Mom and Dad gonna be gone for about 9 hours? You know where the gun is.
Well, if you're leaving your child alone, if something happened to them and they weren't able to defend themselves, you would, how.
And you had the gun there, but you didn't leave it for them. How guilty would you feel?
Exactly. But I think you do a lot better with the shotgun, a lot less accident prone. But kids will play with guns. My kid was a squared away kid. He was mature for his age, intelligent. And what did he do? He went and played with the gun. You cannot help it, man.
I never.
You got to play with that thing.
I don't think my dad had a shotgun, and maybe 22, and we never got him out to shoot him, and so I don't even know. I think I knew where they were most of the time. So I never did, but I got into the gun thing afterwards. After I left home, got married.
Oh, I always loved guns. So I always lived in a kind of a rough neighborhood pretty much my whole life.
Well, yeah, your gas station. You can pick up a freaking heater at the gas station, man.
Yeah, well.
That's back when they called them heaters still.
It was.
We got some other stories, or we can go straight into the old Voda thing. What do you think?
Now let's see what stories we got. We got a few stories.
I got this negligent discharge one. Do you want me to play it? Let's play it.
Sure.
And then that'll lead into yours because it's kind of the same thing.
I don't know. Which one are you talking about?
Well, you haven't heard this one. So here we go. We'll play this.
Oh my God.
Officer Jesse Hill was responding to a domestic violence call when he found Gabe Steele outside with his wife Autumn and their 3-year-old son. The family's dog started barking.
Hey!
Hill lost his balance and fired 2 shots.
Get your dog!
One grazed the dog, the other fatally hit Steele.
You shoot her? Did I? Oh my God. Oh my God.
That boy lives with that every day of his life. That shouldn't be his story.
It's also a story few people hear about when it comes to certain police shootings. An Associated Press investigation identified more than 1,400 unintentional discharges of firearms by more than 250 local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies since 2012. The AP found more than 20 cases where people died in those accidental shootings.
Unintentional discharges are actually quite rare, but they're much more common than we would like.
No one tracks negligent shootings by law enforcement, so the AP reviewed media reports, obtained body camera footage, and surveyed agencies across the country. The findings are an undercount since not all agencies were contacted. After a high-speed chase in Minnesota, a sergeant stepped out of his patrol car with his firearm drawn.
Get your hands right, Steele!
Hands where I can see him. Hands where I can see him. Oh, you actually shot me, didn't you?
I'm not going to say anything right now.
Oh, please don't say. Yeah, I know.
It was not intentional. I can tell you that.
The AP identified another 134 cases where the officer was injured from the discharge and 45 cases where an accidental shooting injured another officer.
Where are you shot? Hey, relax.
That's what happened at a Texas high school when heavily armed officers and agents responded to a shooting. A U.S. Marshal accidentally shot a Homeland Security officer in the leg during the search for the shooter. Experts say the current methods used to train officers are inadequate. Doug Tangen says once cadets leave the academy, they rarely receive ongoing training.
These are all complex psychomotor skills. And if you know anything about psychomotor skills and motor learning, they take maintenance or they just go away.
And I think I hit her, Sergeant. I don't know where.
The officer in Steele's death was never charged, but the family reached a $2 million settlement with the city in 2018. As for the little boy who witnessed his mom's shooting,
He says he wants to be a cop when he grows up. Because he wants to get rid of the bad ones. Which I can understand. He's had pretty bad experience with police officers.
an experience Steele hopes will bring changes to police training. Krista Fourier, Associated Press, Burlington, Iowa.
There are no accidental or discharges. They're all negligent. The gun doesn't go off unless you pull the freaking trigger.
Well, that wasn't negligent. He pulled down on the dog.
On that one, yeah.
Shoot him.
And as he slipped, he bam, bam, right?
Ugh.
But I don't know.
I got a question on these dog shootings. I mean, we got another dog shooting in Napa.
Yes.
Cop shot a dog, and the department saying they're standing behind him. I'm like, okay, how many mailmen get mauled to death every year by dogs? I know nobody wants to get bit. Here's the problem.
Right.
We get into, and this is the training. This is the training that everybody gets. We get into fear for your life. You can defend yourself. All this stuff. Well, we had a shooting out here of a dog, and the guy plainly said, I didn't want to get bit. I didn't want to have to go to. So it's getting to where
don't want to get bit again.
I understand that. I understand that. It makes perfect sense. Okay, now how long before I didn't want to get hit, and they start shooting people because they're shooting people. Let me see your hand. Pow, 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 pow. They're just killing them. Right. How long before I just didn't want to get hit, or I I didn't want to get my uniform dirty. I mean,
got dog hair.
You put in a situation. You put in a tough situation.
No, you are.
And we are expecting a lot of restraint. You're taking people's lives, and you start out shooting these dogs. That's one of the problems I have with Sims rounds. While they drastically reduce the spraying and praying that a lot of departments come into, the fact that each one of us shot each other with a Sims round, and it's breaking a psychological hold that you do not point your firearm at somebody. It's breaking that, and you're pulling that trigger, and you're getting easier to shoot people. And it's in ways it's good is it dials you in when you have to shoot. In ways that it's bad, it makes you more prone to shoot. Because it is a freaky thing.
It is.
To shoot somebody with a Sims round. And it's a freaky thing when you see that gun pointed at you like, hey, man.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do
sure
that.
This is all right? This is like a YouTube video gone bad.
Right before it goes bad.
Yeah, what's up?
But it also, you got to also to look at it too, though. It makes it more, and I see your point.
Right.
And I'm not really arguing. I'm just looking at the other side. It also makes it more lifelike for someone. So they know that's as close as you can get to knowing what it's going to be like. And maybe you decide this isn't for me.
It takes away some of the consequences too, though.
But it does. I mean,
and it takes away that. I tell you what, when
you never have good and bad or bad and good. I mean, they go hand in hand.
Yeah. There's
pros and
cons.
cons.
A dichotomy to everything.
Yeah.
And it's Anyway, back to the negligent shooting.
Negligent discharge.
Accidental discharge. I tell you what, they said they can't get accurate numbers because some departments would. I'm not going to tell you all the dumb stuff I done.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you kidding me?
But you know what? You think that someone, and I'm not trying to pick on law enforcement, but I mean, these people carry firearms. Get training. Why don't they train these people? Why wouldn't you train them more? Send them more to train. The guy came on, some trainer toward the end of the video, and he said, well, those psychomotor skills or whatever, if you don't use them, they're not there. Well, he's got a point. Shooting is it will disappear over time. It's not like riding a bike. It's
not only that, a lot of it is once a year you go to qualify and you get so many rounds in the black. It's like they're not. You get a lot of people, a lot of law enforcement, a lot of stuff like that does not try and pursue it. They think they're okay because they're getting in the black, and it's not the same thing as. And
you also have a group of them that aren't gun people, so they have to carry a gun for work, but they're not going to go shoot it in their spare time. And not even training, but I mean, some guys are gun guys, and they'll go out on the weekend and shoot. They reload. They like to shoot. Maybe they shoot competitively. Maybe they just take their kids out and take their family out shooting. That's still better than nothing.
Yeah.
But some of them don't do it.
They hate it. I know people that hate the annual.
Yeah.
That they have to do it. And I've seen them sit there and shoot 4 or 5 times, fail.
And they just keep letting him take it.
And pass. And it's like, okay.
Because you lived that world a little bit.
I've seen them poke that paper with a pencil. Is that a hole? Yep. All right. You got to know.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Get out of here. Check the box and go home.
So but then again, just to even vary off of just talking about law enforcement officers, the average concealed carry holder, if you're going to depend on firearm, train.
Yeah.
Go out and practice, because this applies.
You will be prosecuted.
Yeah, this applies to you as well. That law enforcement officer, it was an accident. You do that, guess who's going to prison?
Yeah, you're going to jail.
Yeah, for murder.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way that's going to work out. So it's important for them, but I would say it's almost even more important. And besides that, we need to be, I think the average concealed carry holder that has gone out and done it properly and has taken a class or two and carries a gun is more careful and more dedicated to the carrying of that firearm than most law enforcement officers are.
Right.
And I think they could probably handle that weapon and shoot better. Gun guys could handle that weapon and shoot better more than most law enforcement officers can.
Yeah, well, you got one of the largest police forces in the nation, New York. I mean, those guys ain't going out shooting.
Right.
Those guys, those guys are making some bank, and they just chilling out. It's a good gig, and that's what they're trying to get. They're trying to get in there and get the good gig, and they get a whole lot more freedom.
Right.
with their position, but they're not gun people, and they're not going to go practice, and they're just not.
It's a shame too. I mean, I've been doing more and more private classes,
right?
And I think that's just awesome to see people come in and want And I talked about it because he impressed me so much. That gentleman that I was talking about with this 45 and back in the Army and whatnot. I mean, he's 78 years old. 78 years old, and he came in and goes, "I want to learn. There's stuff I don't know. There's new stuff I don't know. I want to learn it. Show me." The grip has changed. The stance has changed. Show me. He's 78 years old.
Right.
I mean, that he comes in and knows that he wants it. I mean, the dude is a great guy. He's in the sunset of his life.
Latter stages.
And then you've got the 30-year-old or the 20-year-old that, I carry a gun, put it in my holster, I'm freaking good. You know what I'm saying? Constitutional carry, screw your class. I don't need nothing. I mean, I know how to do mag dumps. I mean, they're out there.
Yeah, they are.
They're out there.
There's a lot of them.
They're carrying high points.
That means they're gonna get you.
Actually, you know what?
That thing's gonna work.
Some of them may have classed up a little bit.
Okay.
And they're carrying the Smith & Wesson Sigma, the SV9, SWV9E. You know what? I want to say that Taurus, I think, is a little classier than what we're giving it credit for. I think it's a little nicer gun.
A G3. I tell you what, if they fixed that trigger off the G2, I hadn't shot it, but for that price.
Did you see the video and the article? Did I talk about that last podcast?
I don't know which one.
They did a guy got a hold of one, and people were loving it. They're loving the G3. They're like, some ladies like, this is a nice gun. Some guys like, he goes, I was super impressed. Feels good. It points well. It shoots great. It didn't hiccup. It didn't have any problems. They absolutely love it.
Well,
Taurus is back on top. Have they ever been on top?
No, but never fear. They'll
raging bull.
They'll throw a lemon out there pretty soon. You really have to. I don't care who it's coming from. You really need to. Don't buy into the hype. Wait and let people start testing it.
Right.
And then you'll find out, because Colt Python.
Oh, yeah.
Colt Python. That's got to be an awesome. It's falling apart.
Yeah. I don't know. I know a guy that's going to maybe get one, and I told him, I stated this on the last podcast. He says he's going to come over and we can do a review on it.
On the Python?
No.
Oh, the G3.
The G3.
Okay.
He said the price is so right, he might buy two of them.
Get one.
No, dude.
Let's shoot the barrel out of the thing.
You want to dual wield.
Okay.
You want to dual wield that. That'd be the way to go right there, buddy.
I can do that.
Okay.
I got the Canic professionals.
I did talk to that gentleman about the Canics, and I think he might go try to find one and check him out.
Okay.
I said, dude, you already like these Czech pistols. Time for you to go look up these Turkish guns.
Yeah, quick, because you look at the crap that Erdogan's pulling right now.
No, I didn't look.
Okay, they're about to. They done shot down a couple of. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
They shot down a couple of fighter jets. They're killing people. Russia's starting to retaliate. They're invading. They're moving into Syria. They're kicking off a bunch of crap, and we need to let them just tell Russia to, hey, just go dust them off, and we done with this crap.
I haven't been paying attention. I've been too busy molding young minds this week.
Okay. Well, NATO is not speaking up, but with Turkey being the aggressor, if you're looking for a Canic, I might check on into one before. You never know. It's been brewing. I've been saying this for a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Or keep going back and forth.
Starting to boil now.
Man, somebody needs to just take that dude out. So I think they ought to tell Russia and Syria, we're not going to do anything. Do what you want. Do what you want. Take him down.
So the moral of the story is buy your Canic now.
Get your Canic now. Well, I've been saying that for a while, but he keeps pushing the line and pulling back. And
you need to buy a few, and then when they're hard to get, you can make some money.
I got them.
You buy some more. But you know what? We were talking about all the negligent discharges and stuff, and we talked about training.
Right.
We've got to hear our new favorite trainer. Our new favorite trainer.
Love this man.
He came out with a new video.
It's an inspiration.
He came out with a new gun safety book. It's 200 pages.
Wow. Does it have pictures?
It might. I don't know. But he comes out, and this is a little lengthy, and I got this set up so we can comment along the way. I can pause it, but we've got to listen to Mr. Voda, okay. Mr. Lucian Black. He starts off a little slow, but then it gets good.
All right.
So we got to listen.
I'm seeing people that are saying things, and it doesn't bother me. You know, I'm just letting you know that. But I decided to make the video because I want to explain something about the EDA ECK shooting technique. Let me share this to a couple of groups here because I want people to understand where what my position is here and why it's so important and why I do what I do. And that's enough people to share it with here. Okay, this shooting platform, and I'm going to see if I have I should have it. Here we are. Okay. This shooting platform, when you see me running, this shooting platform in which I am running a firearm and a knife simultaneously here, okay, that is my shooting system. Okay, I created it, it's mine, I own it, no one can touch it, no one can take it away from me. And so I see people that may leave comments or whatever, and you know, most of them I don't know how I respond to any comments at all, but I will talk about the fact of why most people will never be able to run this particular shooting system. And the fundamental thing is, one, you must have a formal training in some kind of empty hand martial art or boxing or something, or it will never work for you. Simply saying that you've been in 1,000 street fights does not count. You must be formally trained, empty hand martial art, boxing, MMA, something, in order to use this particular technique. Because if you try to use this technique, you will looks very silly doing it. 2, you're going to end up increasing the risk that you cause injury to yourself or to somebody else. That's what's going to happen. This is why I always tell people all the time, you must come see me directly for the application of this shooting system, or else it ain't going to work for you at all. Now, why do I say you must have a formal martial art, boxing, or MMA background before you use the EDA ECK shooting system? The reason being is because of cognition. Hand-eye coordination is a cognitive skill that can only be developed through hours and repetition of formalized tasks.
Is that through hours or 2 hours? I'm kind of lost. So a person just off the street cannot come in and participate in his new shooting system. He's stated that this system is his. It belongs to him.
Nobody wants it. It's all him.
It's his.
He can have it.
And only the select few with the cognitive ability can learn how to dual wield a knife and a firearm at the same time.
Okay. Baseball. Think baseball. Think the guy who hits the batter hits the ball with the bat, with the stick. Think hockey. The person who uses the hockey stick to hit the puck. Think the boxer who perfects the right or the left jab or a cross punch or uppercut or whatever the man gonna do or the woman gonna do. Think of the martial artist who spends an entire lifetime practicing martial arts. That's why it's so important. So not just anyone. Let me go away with some people real fast. Hardly anyone can just walk up, pick up a gun and a knife and be like, oh, I got it. It doesn't work that way. Everything you see me doing with these knives, changing magazines out, everything, changing slides and everything like that, with a knife, it comes because I have had practice and I have had formal training.
Who trained him to do this?
Nobody.
He trained himself. He's had formal training.
Well, he's talking about people who have a lifetime of martial arts training. I know people that have a lifetime of martial arts training that learn crap the whole time.
Shoot, stab, change a mag, shoot, stab. Oh, cut my hand, shoot, stab. Oh, there goes my pinky.
Can't fight their way out of a paper bag. Terrible.
To do this thing. So you would get people out there that would be like, oh, the Ida Isake shooting technique is stupid or is going to get someone killed. You're right, it's going to get someone killed, especially a person who doesn't know what the world is doing.
It's going to get someone killed, especially someone who doesn't know what in the world they're doing.
It's like setting off a hand grenade, man. It's liable to kill everybody around.
That's right.
Yeah, you're going to get killed, all right. Yeah, of course. I can admit to that. You're going to get killed if you don't know what you're doing.
Thank you.
You're going to get killed if you don't have any formal background or formal training in any kind of hand-to-hand combat, any kind of martial art, boxing, MMA, play a whole lot of sports, Yeah, you're going to get killed. Yeah, you're going to get killed. And you should be killed.
Sign me up, brother.
And you should be killed.
Sign me up.
If you try this, so he's saying, if you try this system and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be killed. And by God, you should be killed.
Well,
everyone's going to be killed.
Please take my money. Sign me up now.
It gets better.
I already told you already that you have to reach out to me.
If you want to learn the system, you have to reach out to him.
So you can get killed.
Or you're going to get killed.
You should get killed.
Yeah.
You have to. You see what I'm saying? I must do an assessment on you before you even pick up this system. Before you even start. Why you think the book prices so much? I know very well I'm not going to sell a 250-page book, for 225-page book for $250. I know that.
You're giving them it's over $1 a page, dude.
Shit.
It's typed in gold.
Yeah, you paying $1 for the title page, copyright page.
I know people aren't going to. That's a great marketing system he's got there. I created this book. I paid for it to be published, and I know people aren't going to pay $250 for a $225 or 225-page book.
That's not his actual price, is it?
He said it was. He's got like.
That's not his actual price.
Listen,
can't be.
And already. But I set that price to lock these people out so no one gets hurt.
He set this price to keep people from buying the book that he put out there for sale. That's just what he said.
Unbelievable.
I put this 225-page book out there. I charge $250 for it because I don't want anyone to buy it. I set the book at this price to lock people out from buying. That's just what he said.
Unbelievable. Well, he's got ninja secrets or something in there, huh?
Something. The secret to his accent.
Have to come to me. And when you come to me, you'll probably end up getting a book for about $25 anyway. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to not only preserve the knowledge, right? To keep this knowledge from contamination.
Secret hidden knowledge.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to prevent people from getting hurt working this system who don't have the necessary prerequisites to run this system here. That is the goal.
So what is the goal? He developed this system.
I don't think he knows where he's
even at. It's a goofy system, and people are probably wondering what they're listening to right now. You go to on Facebook, Voda Inc., Lucian Black. You got to check it out. Voda Logic, so it is Voda Logic.
Oh man!
And check out his little system he developed with the gun and light. And I know
it's awful.
I know we seem to like hone in on this guy, but every now and then he pops up, and it's just too.
It's entertainment.
It's just too easy not to grab. It's
comedy gold, man.
It's gold, and he's developed a system that people make fun of, and yet he doesn't want to share it with people who are unqualified. So he overprices everything. And if you want to learn it or you want the book for, 150% off, you have to come to him and he determines if you're qualified or not to learn the system. Last week, we watched a video, you and me, of this woman who he was training.
So sad.
She's obviously qualified to learn his system.
It's so sad.
And this
woman is trying to better herself. That just breaks my heart. It's like she's trying to get some training.
Yes. So we have and
she's got this clown.
We have a little ways to go yet on this, but you got to pay attention. At the very, very end, the one final phrase. And I'm not going to key you into what it is.
All right.
But you got to listen.
You see what I'm saying? So when you see me working my system, yes, my system, it's because I have had years of training, of formal training to do it. I didn't just make this up. There's a guy out there.
Isn't that how any system starts? It just kind of made up a little bit.
Yeah, it's completely garbage.
He looks so bad. He has I'm going to debunk his system. It doesn't work. Of course, he's going to do that and look as embarrassing as he did with no fluidity, no mechanics at all, and to say that the system doesn't work. Of course, it doesn't work for you. You don't have the necessary prerequisites to run the system.
You haven't paid the $250 for the book. That's the necessary prerequisites.
It's a classic add to the con that it's a secret hidden knowledge.
Yeah.
And you got to come to me to get it. And if it works 100% all the time, but for non-believers, it don't work. Dillman used to do that. He was like,
oh, really?
Yeah. Well, this is a non-believer. I'm like, you freaking clown.
This guy's putting on is this like an infomercial?
Oh,
but worse.
It's so sad.
Okay.
So sad.
It's just getting good.
You see what I'm saying? That's like a first grader going to 5th and 6th grade and saying multiplication is stupid. When the first grader can't even count. He can't even add or he can barely subtract. He can barely divide, but yet and still the first grader will go to the 5th and 6th grader and say, multiplication don't work, multiplication stupid. Of course it's stupid and it doesn't work for you because you can't add and you can't count.
That's it.
And the same thing goes with the system here. Of course, the EDA ECK shooting system is not going to work for you because you don't have the prerequisite skills to deploy the system. And guess what? It's set like that by design. The time is over of just allowing any and everyone to, learn things, to just pick up a gun and go.
Tangs.
That's our problem. We have too many people who don't know what they're doing, running around with too many guns. And that's why we have these firearm accidents or these, unintentional discharge, or you have these negligent discharge, which are two separate things. And you have gun-related injuries and death and high rates of suicide. And why you have these problems? We have these problems because we allow any and everybody to go out here and go get a firearm, go do some kind of crappy training and get some kind of certificate or some sort.
Is he stomping on my Second Amendment rights?
Is he saying only people that are trained by him can have firearms?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Kind of what he's saying.
And, it's still, you need to listen for the key phrase. The key phrase will be the last 4 or 5 words he says.
Okay.
And it'll bring this all together. So just remember what you learned right now. And
all right.
You got 4 minutes.
And in some states, you don't even have to have a permit or a license or a certificate to even carry your firearm in a concealed manner. And then we wonder why some 5-year-old kid, shoots himself or him friend. And we wonder why we have so many loose guns in the street. It is time for us to be more selective. We need to stop looking. I can't even put myself in the we thing anymore because I don't do it. So, but I'm overshadowed by hundreds of thousands of people who do. You see, who the only thing they see is money. And the only thing they see, if they got the money, they're gonna change. What? No. They must have cognition. They must have good capability of judgment. I'm not saying you have to be like a few good men or anything like that. No, I'm not saying that at all.
Is he picking on people that volunteer to go to the service?
I don't know.
You don't have to be a few good men.
Okay, I'm trying to remember where in that movie that somebody was highly trained or something.
I don't know. Yeah, this is great, man.
But what I am saying is you must have some kind of good judgment, sound judgment. You must go through adequate training.
And learn his system.
The stuff that you see me do, working two, gun, knives simultaneously, putting the shooting technique, all of these different techniques that you see that I've created and developed and put out. These are advanced functions. This is not for everybody.
That lady that he was teaching it to, she looked like she was ready for advanced functions.
Well, he looks like he's ready for advanced functions. I tell you what, for some entertainment, go check out this guy's videos.
You've got to.
Watch the way this man moves. He is like a deadly viper.
He is. And then after you watch those videos, go ahead and go on to Google and just type in Lucian Black or Voda Logic and see some of the news stories that are out about this guy.
You know what's crazy is I find myself in a weird situation here, being the constitutional man that I am, pro-Second Amendment.
Right.
And he wants to restrict our Second Amendment rights to people who aren't trained by him, aren't ready for it. If you've ever seen a man that should not have a firearm,
it's this gentleman. He points guns at people when he's training them.
This fool is going to get somebody killed.
Yeah. It's
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Okay, we got like a minute and a half left.
Okay.
It gets better.
All right.
I love listening to him pronunciate the words too. It's great.
Voda is never going to be for everybody. Voda is exclusive.
I can't afford it.
And I pride myself on that. I will not just train anybody. The testing that goes on, that you see I do, it's so much testing that go on behind the scenes that never get put on camera. It ain't funny. When I taught concealed carry in North Carolina, I was the only one out of all those instructors. I'm an educator, so it's different for me, but out of all those other instructors in North Carolina, I'm the only one with 9 battery of tests. The only one. So that let you know, not only how passionate, but how serious I take this thing.
Serious.
This is not for the faint of heart.
You ain't gonna pay attention, you cut your finger.
Voda is just not for everybody. And I pride myself on that. I will never become the Walmart of firearms. I will never, ever, become some liquidation, sale. I will never take part in the McDonaldization of firearm training.
What about the Arctic Circle? I like me some Arctic Circle.
Wasn't that the Jamaican police department that had their barrels upside down?
Probably.
Wasn't that Jamaica?
I think so, yeah.
Wonder if he was in the police department over there.
He's running security.
Okay.
He probably runs security at Walmart.
All right.
It's despicable.
Despicable.
It's decadent. It's aberrant. I don't like that. It's very distasteful, and I strongly hate it.
You don't like it.
Okay?
I don't like it either.
So you guys be safe out there. If you're train for relevancy. Okay? Train to be efficient and effective.
Bring it home.
Okay? And most of all, be safe. Tomorrow, the Firearm Safety Redefined book comes out tomorrow.
Bring it home.
Make sure you get a copy. 200 pages of firearm safety. Never been done before. No book like it. I am the first to do it. Okay? As I am the first to do many things. And I'm black. Be safe out there.
That's the hook?
That's the hook. You just lost like 15 minutes of your life to come down to that.
I was doubting you right to the end. Now I got to rethink everything. Oh, shit. I got to hear that again.
We are recording this live. Oh, okay.
I thought he was insane, but I did not know. And I'm black. Oh,
and I'm black.
Shit. Well, never mind then.
We're both. If you can't see us, we're both in here like crying. We're laughing so hard.
Oh, that was good.
I told you. I told you, you have.
Oh man, my voice, my throat's hurting.
He just brought it home at the very end. But anyhow, I think we'll just leave it off on that note. That's
you can't add more. No, it's over.
That speaks volumes. So if you listen to the
okay. God. Just mute my mic.
So if you listen to the podcast, we really appreciate it. Subscribe to it. Share it with your friends. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Spotify. We even have a YouTube channel. Find us on Facebook.
Oh, damn, I ain't laughed like that in years. Oh, shit. Damn. Oh, help me. I'm going outside.
Another one bites the dust. So anyhow, we are on Facebook. You can find us under Patriot Defense. Share us with your friends, your family. Check out some of the videos I've been doing on there. If you want to contact me, you certainly can. You can call me. You can text me. Area code 620-794-6223. That's area code 620-794-6223. You can also shoot me an email at patriotdefense13@yahoo.com. You can also find our website, my website, patriotdefense13.com. You can contact me there. You can listen to the episodes there, find out what is going on in our world. Check us out. We appreciate it, as always. And I'll tell you what, go out this week, grab some ammo, grab your guns, head to the range, and train with intent.